Hi everybody, in this video we're going to give you 3 energizers and icebreakers you can play with any group at any time, anywhere, no matter whether the group is really serious or a bit more playful. Coming up. Well, hello beautiful people, my name is Yuri from The Magic Sauce. Welcome to our channel where we bring you tools, tips, tricks, techniques and stories on innovation and creativity. If you've ever been in a workshop or in a meeting or a conference, I'm sure you have been involved in an energizer or an icebreaker. A small activity to get the energy up or to break the ice amongst people to make sure that they have better conversations. Whether you are running a meeting or a conference or a workshop or a training, having the right energy amongst the people in the room is absolutely important for the output. I've seen many engagements with people where the energy is just wrong and often the output shows for it. The general rule is energy in equals energy out. Now, some people hate energizers and icebreakers because sometimes they're done a bit like this. Hi everybody, my name is Barry and I'll be your facilitator for today. Before we get started, let's play a bit of a game. This game is called Slap the Penguin. So the way this game works is when I say go, you guys walk around like penguins and you make penguin sounds like because that's what penguins sound like in the wild. Whenever I say polar bear, you guys start slapping each other on the head. The last person that gets hit on the head will be the dying penguin and you have to die in a very dramatic way. Are you guys ready for this game? But it doesn't have to be that way. There are several ways of running it. Some people are just not comfortable running those kind of energizers. And frankly, there's a lot of people who hate going to workshops and trainings because of activities like that. If you're just doing it for the sake of it being fun, then what does it say about the rest of your contest? Because I would argue that posing a good question, having a good discussion with people is energizing. A clear presentation, let's say about a new technology, can be very energizing. So how you set up your workshop or your training will dictate how the energy runs. So I wouldn't just rely on little games in between to make sure that you get the energy right. I'm a big fan of just having a few prepared that when the time is right and you need to, let's say, transition from one topic to the other. So you're going from a listening mode into doing mode, maybe that's a good time to throw in a little activity to get the energy right. We're going to give you 3 simple energizers and icebreakers you can use with any group of any size at any time. You need to transition or you need to bring the energy up or down, you can just pull these out. They don't require any materials, they're very straightforward. The first one, stand up and discuss. Let's say that you've just shared a bunch of information to the group, there's been a bit of a briefing. One of the simplest ways to change the energy is to then say, great, so we've talked to you for about 20 minutes, we've given you lots of information. Can you all please stand up, find somebody in the room you don't know, shake their hands, and I just want you to discuss what we've talked about already. Very simple, gets people up, it changes the energy, gets them talking, and is a very simple activity, works for any group. The second one is a bit of an icebreaker. Let's say you have a group of people, they don't know each other that well, you might want to do some kind of introductions. Now, one way to do this is to go through the room and say, introduce yourself. But let's say you have more than 10 people in the room, this can take a long time and therefore you might lose some of the energy. So one way to do this is to get everybody to stand up, find somebody in the room you don't know and say, introduce yourself to each other. Go, give people some time, they introduce themselves, and most likely they will say similar things like, hi, my name is John, I work in the marketing department for this company, I've been with this company for so many years, here's some of the projects I work on. Usually people present the work themselves. So then you say time's up, and you ask people to do the same thing, introduce themselves to the other person, but this time they cannot use any of the information they use in round 1. So now you're forced to say other things about yourself rather than the typical work, blah, 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 here's my role, here's what I do. It's a different energy, gets people to know little things about each other which they otherwise would not have known. Creates a bit of conversation as well. And the third one is both an energizer and an icebreaker. You prepare a few questions. Ideally, the questions have to do with the contents, let's say the training or the conference. You ask people to stand up, find somebody in the room, and you pose question 1. Let's say that it is a conference about leadership. You could ask something like, who is your best example of a great leader and why? Get people to discuss that. You ring a bell, you play some music, say, okay, time's up, find another person in the room, and here's the second question. And you can do that a couple of rounds depending on how much time you have. And if you have some time left at the end, you can share back some of the answers that they were sharing with each other. So you could go back to question 1 and say, all right, who wants to give me an example of great leadership where they've seen that, etc., etc. Gets the group talking, it's relevant, the topic can be relevant to whatever the topic of the training or the meeting is, and it gets everybody up and moving. So these are really simple activities you can pull out at any time and anywhere, regardless of the group size. You can tune them to however much time you have, and it's a great way to get people up and moving because very often in trainings and in meetings, people sit back and receive information, and it's a simple way to get people to break that pattern, get people up, get people talking and sharing with each other. because I think that is energizing and both ice-breaking at the same time. They don't have to be silly. Like I said, hey, if you want to get everybody up on the chair with a feather boa around the neck singing Celine Dion, if that works for you, fantastic. You don't have to do it like this. For a lot of people, they might not be comfortable or it might not be appropriate for the group. These 3 activities work at any time, anywhere. If you want more, there's books like these. Look at this. This is 201 icebreakers, group mixes, warm-ups, energizers, and playful activities. It is basically a library filled with a whole bunch of activities, tells you exactly what size the group is for, what you need, materials needed, and will tell you step by step how you run them. This is one book. There are many others for you to use. The key thing is that you get the energy right, that you break the ice, so you get fruitful conversations, and therefore you get to output. That's at the end of the day, that's what meetings, conferences, and trainings are for, that other people learn and you get some great output. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, feel free to hit that subscribe button below, share this video with somebody who needs to see it, and we will see you here next time for another video. Have a nice weekend. The second one, if you need a bit of an energizer, you can do something like this. A lot of programs. The second one, this is a bit of a... The second one is an icebreaker.